Good evening. Today is Monday night. I had to wrap up my video for last week, which was my market day. So if you haven't watched that, please go back and watch it. And in that video, I had said I have a new project I'm working on. And you can probably see part of it in the background. Yep. So everywhere I keep seeing these bandana purses. Now, here's the crazy thing. I'll bet you 30 years ago, I used to make these and they were not a thing. And now all of a sudden, they're a thing. Who would have ever guessed? So I bought some bandanas. When I was at my market the other day, I it was right beside Hobby Lobby, and I ran in and bought some. The only problem is I would have to cut quite a bit off, but I got this, which I would have to cut to about right here on both sides. But I think the main thing is the center focus on this one. I might do this one first. I couldn't decide on which one to do. This one, I really like it. It's got the roses. But if I wanted to make it only 16 inches, otherwise, look how big this bag would be. I think it's 22 inches wide. So that would be really big. I would have to cut like down the half row of the roses. And then I got the tie-dye because I haven't been crazy colored with colors in a long time. So I got this. And then I think I had showed you on a video before. I had ordered these and they're like grandiate. Is that how you say it? Where they kind of slowly go into another color. But none of them, they're all different. None of them are matching. Like here would be another blue that would kind of go with it. You know, if you wanted to make a blue bag, it'd have like blue and then it goes light blue and this goes blue and green. So yeah, I thought I would make one just to see how it turns out. These right here, all of these right here, I bought as a package deal, and I got them off Amazon. Um, like I say in all my videos, I do have links to. I do have an Amazon store in my description, and it will be in my first comment too. But these are really, really thin. You can see through them. But I'm not going to start this project tonight, but I did want to start the video tonight to let you see what we're going to get into. I do believe I will start with the tie-dye because I'm pretty sure I have some fabric for the inside. I am going to Hobby Lobby this week. My mom has a doctor's appointment in the town where Hobby Lobby is, so I will be going to Hobby Lobby to get more inner fabric because I'm running out of it. So you'll have to stay tuned so we can make this together. I'm going to show me making it so we can all learn together. For those of you new here, my name is Cheryl and I run a small handmade business called Hag-a-needle Handmade Creations. In my videos, you just never know what we're going to get into. Some of them may start out slow and boring, but you never know what's going to happen in the middle or at the end, so you need to stay tuned. And if you are getting bored, then just skip to the middle, and you just never know what we're going to get into. I've already told you what we're getting into this week, so you'll have to stay tuned. Happy Tuesday. So, I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night because guess what? Brainstorming all night long. I kept thinking, how can I cut this 16 by 16 like my other bags? And then it finally dawned on me, you do not have to do that. So, I was going to start with the tie-dye, this one, but I don't have any lining to go with it. I thought I did. Um, I have some red, but this is a different type of red-ish. It's hard to pick up on camera. So not to fear, I do have a backup. I want to use the red for this one, but this one is what had me up all night thinking. If you look at the border, how skinny the border, like this area is, there's not really much you can cut off without cutting into the design. So this is going to require another sleepless night thinking about it. But I did find some inner fabric to go with this one. And this, I decided, which we're going to start here in just a second, I'm just going to cut right here, like that, right along the design. And it'll just be a bigger bag. I'll probably make my seam allowance a bit more than I do on my other tote bags. So that's what we're going to start on. I have this lime green polka dot lining that will go with this nicely because there is like a lime greenish in here, and I thought this would go nicely. I would rather use black with white polka dots because that's my go-to fabric for a lot of stuff, but I don't have enough left. So that's on my list to get when I go to Hobby Lobby, because if I'm not mistaken, this is the week for fabric to be on sale, and I'm going Thursday. So first thing I'm going to do is get this ironed, and then we'll get to cutting. I don't know if you can tell, but once they're ironed, they're not very straight. Uh, Luckily, I do believe the print is straight on it, but the outer, this right here, that's not, see how it goes like this and then it dips down. So we're going to cut this. I think it'll end up measuring 17 inches maybe, or 17 and a half. Okay, I got the backing on. I had to use a different backing because this is only 16 and a half inches wide, and that wouldn't have worked out. And I had some other that came on a, whatever, what do you call those? A bolt. And I just used it. So I thought about quilting it on here, but I don't sew the straightest in the world. And I think I'm going to pass. And when I go to Hobby Lobby, I'm going to look for one of those quilting thingies, you know, the little quilting guide, and get one there. I thought I had one, but I don't really think I did. If I did, I probably didn't know what it was and put it away somewhere. So for now, we are not going to quilt it. If I was going to quilt it, I was just going to go up like this. But I know, I just have a feeling, even if I mark it at the bottom, even if I mark it, I don't want to mark it because then I don't want to have to. I need that type of stuff where when you iron it, it comes off. Have you heard of those pins? I have this one, but let me test it on a piece of fabric and see if it does come off if you iron it. Then I would think about putting lines on there. Oh, you can barely even see it on the black. Nope, it stays. I think it needs to be washed. Okay. Well, that's okay. Um, we'll just go quilted on this one. You know, this is, what do you call that? Your prototype to begin with anyways. So we'll just do that. And then hopefully by Thursday I have me one of those quilters thingies. Quilting guides. Yes, there it is. Okay. Now I'm just going to get these lined up and sew them together. I'm really not quite sure how much to cut off of here yet. On my other totes, I do a 2-inch square, and I'm thinking of just doing 2 inches on this one too. I think I will. I thought about 2.5, but I think I'm just going to stick with 2. So I'm going to get this pinned together, and then I'll be back and we'll do a little sewing. Okay, I'm not changing my thread. It's gray. I will change it when I sew the, gosh darn, I can't even think anymore. When I sew around the top of here. Okay, I'm going to do, usually when I sew my totes, I'm simply just sewing at the edge of my foot here, but I'm going to go over to, what is that marking? It's not a 1/2 inch, it's the 10. Okay, yeah. I can't read what it says. 3/8. I think, yep, it says 3/8, I think. That's where I'm going to start at. Now, you can sew your seams wherever you would like, but I'm just making this one a little different. I'm starting a bigger seam allowance. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to keep this on me sewing the whole thing because that would be boring. I'm just going to sew all the way down, turn down the bottom, up the side, and then I will flip the camera back on and clip my corners, and I'll show you how I sew them. Okay, I'm going to cut my corners 2 inches square, and I line mine up with the outer fabric. Like, this is what I mean. Like, I hope you can see that. Okay, let me make sure. Well, you'll be able to see it better on the other side. And I'm going to mark it. My ruler, because I've had it forever, is curved from me cutting it with my rotary cutter. These are expensive, and I really like this size. I'm off topic like normal. I did buy this one, but it's shorter. I don't know. It's okay. I just really like this one, but I am going to have to retire it because my lines are going away. But for now, we're going to keep using it. So let me move this over just a little, and I'm going to do 2 inches with the fabric. Let me get really close on that so you can see what I'm talking about. Hang on just a moment. See, oops, now I'm wiggling. See what I mean by 2 inches square? Just like that. And I'm going to see how well I did. And not too shabby. So I'll just cut these out, and then we'll sew them up. And then we just need to, so this is going to be a big bag. I like to line up my side seams like this. And then I just turn one seam one way and one seam the other. And I use these handy dandy little quilters clips. I really like these. And I'm going to do the same on here. Which way did I fold that? So this seam needs to go this way. Try to line up your seams as best as you can. And then I will take it to the sewing machine and I will back stitch. Make sure I'm getting this back stitch here. I'm going to do the same seam allowance I did on the sides. And when I get to the middle, I will back stitch, and at the end I will back stitch. So I'm going to get these sewed up very quickly. Look at that. That is a super huge bag. But look, I don't think in my lifetime I could ever line it up like this again. Look how that lined up. Can you believe it? And the bottoms, it is so, and the bottom, look how that lined up. There's no way I could ever do that again. Okay. I think for the straps, I will probably use the green polka dotted fabric. Ooh, I don't know. I do have enough black and white polka dotted. The black might look a little bit better. I don't know. I wish you guys could comment while I'm making this, and it would sure help me out a lot. Okay, I'm going to have to go to my Facebook group, spoiler alert for them, and ask them which they think would look better, the green or the black. So I'm going to have to wait and finish this tomorrow. So you'll have to stay tuned on what color I'm going to choose for the handles. Good Wednesday evening, everybody. Another slow start to my day. Today is, oh, I think I just said Wednesday. So it's my 2-day job. And when I got home today, I did lay down and take a nap. I could not sleep last night. Uh, I think I finally fell asleep about 3 a.m. and I woke up at 4:15 and jumped out of bed and started to go in the kitchen to feed my morning routine, feed Jerry, make coffee. And I just so happened to glance over at the stove and seen the clock, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So back to bed I went. And that was probably the best sleep I got from 4:15 to 6 a.m. So it made for a very long day. Matter of fact, I had texted my second boss and I said, hey, I'm going to be late today because I thought, you know what? I'm going to go home. I'm going to take a nap, a couple-hour nap, and then I'll go to my other job. But the closer it got to me being off work for my first job, I'm like, I can do this. So I texted him back and I went and got it done. Okay, I left you guys off last night with trying to decide which color to do the handle with. I do have a Facebook group. It's a private Facebook group. It's free for anyone to join. There's no charge for it. We like to, and you do not need to be a crafter to join. It doesn't matter, but we like to show off what we're making, or like last night, I asked for help to get these colors figured out. And sometimes I give away what's coming up in a video. But anyways, so I had these 3 colors for the handles. This definitely is the inner fabric because I have the most of it. I've decided no on this. It's too blendy. I don't like it. I like this fabric and the colors, but up against the tote bag, it doesn't look good. So that one's out. So it was up to this one or use this one. Now I went to my private group and asked, and uh, it's 1-in-1. So it was one like this one and one like this one. And I was putting off to wait for others to join in, but now I need to move along and it's up to me. I'm going to go with this one because the more I look at it, the more this I feel would be a little too bright for the handles. So we're going to go with the teal. It does match really well with it. So we're going to go with the teal. I've also had requests. I do have a business Facebook group also, and that's where I post my links to the items I'm selling. I did have some requests that when I make these tote bags, to put pockets on the outside. And I'm going to do that on some of these types, like some of these over here, and mostly probably this one and this one. But my only problem with putting pockets on the outside is I feel like it takes away from the overall fabric look. Definitely not going to be putting any type of outside pocket on this, as it will absolutely take away from this. And I cannot do it. There will be a pocket on the inside. And by the time you see this video, I will have this listed on my Etsy. So if you want to purchase it, my link will be in the description and the first comment. I'm sorry about my nose. Yesterday it was 80 degrees and today it is in the middle 50s. So, and I just can't seem to catch a break with this. It won't clear up. Okay, moving along. So I may have to delay the purse tonight, but you don't have to worry because if you want to see me making the handles, then you can fast forward. The reason I have made some videos on tutorials on how to make a couple of things, probably 3 or 4 tutorials. And on YouTube, you can, on like I don't know how to explain this, on the back end of my YouTube, you can have an overview of how your channel is going. And one of their suggestions was to not mix up your videos. Like my videos that I do for every Sunday are the week in the life of a small business. So when that is my whole theme, and then I make a tutorial video, the algorithm doesn't know where to put my videos. That's what they were telling me. So basically this video is the week in the life of a handmade seller with a tutorial added in. I do want to add, if you're wanting to make one of these, I haven't given like precise measurements, and that's because I'm strictly going off of how the bandana is colored, going with the color scheme of it. So that's why you can't really use the measurements that I said I cut this to. You can do that on if you want to, but in my opinion, on these bandana ones, if you want to keep the full color scheme in with the design, then you'll have different measurements. But what I'm basically showing you is how easy they are to make, and a beginner sewer perfect project, because there's no buttons, there's no zippers. It's just a perfect project. And I will show making the handles and how I tack them on before, and the liner and a pocket. So I may get to that later tonight, but I'm really not sure. If not, for sure, you'll see me tomorrow. It's just, uh, and I do want to get this done because I want to get it up and listed on Etsy and start on another one. And I think I might do one of the Grandiates. And I did mention I'm going to Hobby Lobby tomorrow with my mom. So I also need to sit down and make a list of inside fabrics that I need. Oh, and the one festival I was talking about, it's the Honey Festival. Yeah, I think it's called the Honey Festival, is September 19th. And I did get my application, and the lady who sent it to me was so sweet about it. And they have honey tasting contests and talking about bees and handmade vendors. So there will not be any junkers there. Yay. So it's $40 for 10 to 4, I think. And it's an hour away. So I'm thinking about, I want to get my application in soon because this location draws in a ton of people. My market or craft fair I have in October is in the same place. My only drawback is I'm really, really nervous that my October one I do awesome, and it's a 2-dayer. And my only problem is we leave a week before the October one, so there is no time for me. I'm not going to bring my sewing machine because it's also our vacation. So I need to be fully prepared in case I sell a lot and I don't have enough for October. That would be devastating. Which, okay, let's be real. You know I'm going to have enough. So we're not even going to worry about it. Okay, I'm going to get busy putting buttons on them purses. And if I don't see you later tonight, I definitely will see you tomorrow to get the handles on this bag and the lining on the bag. I'm not going to put a key fob hook on this one because I probably could and use the teal fabric, but I don't think I will on this one. So stay tuned so we can finish this bag up. For those of you who are making it and you don't want to listen to me, blah, 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 then just fast forward to the rest of it. So I will talk to you all later. Happy Thursday, everybody. I took my mom to the doctor today, and then I went to Hobby Lobby. I will show you that later, maybe tomorrow. But moving on. So I cut out the straps. This is 4 inches wide, and I need to iron it. I don't want the straps to be this long, but I'm not going, I'm going to put a pocket because I cut the liner out. I am going to put a pocket this color on this liner, but I only have a little bit of this left. So I wanted to wait until I seen if I liked the length of these straps first. Because I may need to cut another one, and I don't want to cut the pocket and then be short. So normally on my other tote bags, they're about 23 inches, but this bag is super huge, and I think I need to make them 24, and this, if I cut it in half, would only be like 22. So I think I'm going to need a second one, but we'll find out together. I have decided on this rose one after thinking about it forever and ever and ever, and realizing that this bag is huge. I don't think I would ever carry a bag this big, but I will say, if you're going to the gym or to the beach or the pool, this bag would be perfect because it will be big enough to put your stuff in it. So on this one that I want to make next, I have decided I'm going to make it more toteable. So Oh, I keep getting these pop-ups. So I think I'm going to do 16 inches wide by 16. And that simply means I will be cutting off this much, which I'm fine with it now. I'm fine because the center focus is your middle part, in my opinion. My center focus is like this square, like that. So that's my decision. I do want to say when I went to Hobby Lobby today, you know, that list that I made out for lining fabric for different things, I forgot it at home. So I don't think I can move on to the other headbands because I don't have any lining that matches, but oh well. So let me get this ironed up. I am going to be using this. This is a fusible interfacing. It's linked in my Amazon store in the description of this video. I do like this stuff to make the handles. It does stick very well. You do need to use a higher temp with this, in my opinion, and do not iron directly on this. I do a first iron over, but not really pressing it. I iron on top of the fabric after I've done my first iron over, like a barely iron over. So, moving right along, we're going to, I think I need to maybe pin this to the bag. Let me turn you guys around so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to leave this at the length that it is and try to figure out where I would want this. So on a lot of these bags, they make their straps about this big. I'm not going to. I'm going to make it how I normally do, which is I fold it in half like this, and then I fold it to the center, and then fold it over like that. That's how I make my straps. So on my other purses, I went in 3 inches. I probably need to go in, let's say 4 seems, let's say 5 inches. We'll try 5 inches. Let me get my little clippies. Oopsie. Okay, now let's not fall over. There we go. Also, when I was at Hobby Lobby, you know, I said I wanted to get that quilter's guide. They didn't have any. So I'm going to have to order one. We'll go. This is just a guesstimate, really. Okay, this is the full. See that? I feel that would be shoulder bag, maybe. So I don't know if you can really see this. Let me raise you up a little bit. Okay. Now can you see it? This is like, this would hit me right here. So that's really not too bad. That would make the strap longer. I don't know. I might cut off just a little bit of it, like an inch. I think I will, maybe 2 inches. I think I'll cut 2 inches off. That just seems awfully long. Yeah, we're going to go with 2 inches off, and I'll cut another strap. So let me get this done, and we'll be back. Happy Saturday. I skipped Friday altogether. Um, I had to go get my oil changed at 2 o'clock, and by the time I got home, it was about 4:30, and my husband didn't have to work Friday night, so uh, he made supper, and after supper, we sat out in our yard the rest of the night. So I skipped it. But I am going to tell you something that you're not going to believe. My brand new pair of cute little scissors, I've lost them. I haven't even used them yet, and they're poof, they're gone. So there's two pairs of scissors. You know what? I just should buy stock in scissors because I'm going to keep them in business. Because these are not good scissors. Anyways, let's continue. I cut out the pocket. I just made it 6.5 by 7. And then I really thought about these straps, and I didn't want them to be too long. So I took the measurements of this purse because I liked where it sat. It's like right here. It's not way down. And that was about 30 inches. So I did decide to cut the straps 30 inches. And I keep getting messages keep popping up on my phone. Anyways, so this is 30 inches. So I'm going to make the strap that length. And I got my inner fabric all cut out. Now, I don't line my inner fabric. Once in a while, I will put this fusible interfacing on it. It's real thin, but it gives it a little bit of a shape. Once in a while, I will do that, but we're not going to on this bag. So hang on one moment. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time concentrating because if you all watch me much, you know how my head spins with ideas, and I've been watching videos on this. I'm not going to give it away, but if you stay tuned for, I'm not ending this video here. I just got to get it out of my mind so I can move on. But if you stay tuned for next week's video, I'm going to make a project I've never ever made before. I see them everywhere, and I need one. So I'm going to attempt to make something. So you'll have to watch next week's video to find out what I'm making. And then the following one, I've already got an idea for it. They just keep coming at me, which is a good thing. And hopefully in about 2 weeks, I will be able to let you know if I got into the Honeybee Festival in September, which I hope I do. I'm kind of nervous because I don't have a tent and it's an outdoor event, but I'll make do. I'll find a way to make do. So, moving right along, I'm going to get these straps sewed up. I don't know if you want to see me making them. If I have any newbies in here that don't really sew, hang on and I'll show just a little bit. Okay, I'll just show a quick view of what I do for straps. I've already videoed this once, but my microphone went out. So luckily I have another one. Anyways, I fold it in half and then I press it. I do a lot of ironing with everything just because I feel like it helps it keep its shape. And once that's done, then you're going to fold this into your crease. And then just keep your iron to the side. I hope I'm getting this. Okay. It's so hard to tell. Just keep your iron to the side so you're not ironing your crease so you can use it for a guide on the other side. And then you just flip it around. And now you can go down the middle because It doesn't matter if your crease is there. And this is just how I've always made them. And then once that's done, then you just fold it over and iron one more time. And I like to use my quilter's clips at the very end to keep it folded over. And I'll put one in the middle and at the other end. So when I'm going to sew, ow, that's still hot, ouch. When I'm getting ready to sew, I'm going to sew right here all the way down, and then I will turn it around and sew right here on the edges all the way down. So I will change my thread for that. I do believe I have some matching thread for this. Also, before you touch your fabric, make sure it's cooled off because that was very hot. Also, I have a lot of alsos. If you watch my channel, you know that I make a lot of mistakes because I am not the perfect crafter, nor am I the perfect YouTuber. I am giving you real life right now. So this is my inner fabric, and because I used the bandana, I cannot give you accurate measurements for every time you make a tote bag because you really just need to go off your bandana and how much of it you want to cut off. Mine ended up being 17 and a half by 18 and 3/8 or something crazy like that. So that's why I can't really give you the measurements, but I will tell you when you cut your outer fabric, your inner fabric is the same size. And because I'm going with the width being longer, that's why I put this pin right here so it could tell me where the top is so I don't accidentally sew it wrong and it won't fit in my bag, and I don't know if I have enough of this green to go around. So I'm going to get everything sewn up and I will be back when I'm finished. Jerry, somebody wanted to say hi. He found my little chip package and was going to town, weren't you, Gerald? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get off of here and finish this purse. Okay, I got the straps done. I got my inner lining done. So now I'm going to show you how I do this. First, let me make sure I have you. Okay. So I had to rewatch my video just so that I could find out measurements. And I think I had decided to go in 5 inches. So this is what I do. I just measure 5 inches and I'll put my strap right here. Now the way I place mine is you can kind of tell which is the good side and which is the bad. Okay, focus. This side you can tell is, I'm not going to say bad side, wrong side. You can tell because there's like a little lip there. So we're going to take the wrong side and lay it down right there and then either clip it on or pin it. And then all you do is just keep going like this. I hope you could tell how I did that. And measure 5 inches. Or do I want to do 4? Nope, 5. We're sticking with 5. Quit letting me change my mind. And clip this on. And then what I'll do, I'll take it to my sewing machine And what I want to do is I just want to catch the top right here. Don't sew down in here. You want to catch the top. Just go back and forth like 1, 2, 3, like 4 times. Okay, this is what I mean by catching the top. See, you don't want to get uh, too far down because then it'll show up when the bag's finished. So then you just repeat what you did on the other side. Okay, now we just need to stuff the purse in the liner. Make sure you get your straps inside your liner. I really have not ever made a bag this big before. Kind of cool. Okay, then I like to line up my side seams, and you can use whatever you want, pins or these quilter's clips, and I like to use these quilter's clips. And then I'm going to line up the other side. And I just point one this one way and one the other way. I don't open them up. I used to open them up, and I found that they would sometimes start ripping, so I don't open them up anymore. Okay. And then you want to, I go around and I pin, because these handles are pulling down my fabric. I'm going to go ahead and clip the handle parts. Sorry, I gotta do that sometimes. My hands are clean. And I brush my teeth, so. Okay. Now I take my the end off of my sewing machine so that I can sew it around like this instead of trying to sew it without taking the end off. And I won't be able to film it because let me show you. Because my sewing machine is, my table is custom to where I can sit it down in here, which this is my grandma's table she gave me when I very first started sewing, and so I've never sewn with one up like this. I've never done that. I had to try one time, and I couldn't do it. It was foreign to me. So this is what I mean by you take this off. And I have to really concentrate when I'm using this because it moves a lot, and I've had to catch it. I always start on the side seam, a side seam. Well, if I can get it underneath there. See how wiggly it is? And luckily, my sewing machine has a thing where it puts your needle down. So every time I stop sewing, my needle automatically goes down, which is a lifesaver. Because when you go to pulling at this, it will wiggle around. So I'm going to go ahead and get this sewn up, and then I'll be back to turn it inside out. Okay. And I don't know if I mentioned about the lining, how you need to leave uh, a hole in it so that you can flip your purse inside out. I do apologize if I didn't. Sometimes I forget that I'm trying to tell people how to make something, and I just skip steps. So um, I just like to get it boxed out. There we go. And then for the bottom, now there's two ways. There's one way you can use a thread and needle and hand stitch it closed. I will not be doing that. And the other way is how I always do it. And that is I'm going to take my sewing machine and just put a stitch real close to the edge. But first I'm going to put a pin right before the opening so I know where to start. And I will put a pin right after the opening so I know where to end. Okay, now what I do, which I've already done it, I just go around and pull the fabric down so it's not sticking out the top and then clip it because we are going to sew around the top, not very far down, just, close to the top, right in here. And that way it helps keep the lining from bunching up over the purse or tote or luggage is what this is. So I'm going to go ahead and sew around here, and then I'll be back with the finished product. Okay, it is done. Um, this was a challenge. I ran out of bobbin thread, and this will be listed on Etsy at a very big discounted price because I'm not super thrilled with. Uh, I dropped my sewing machine, and it looks like I was drinking while sewing. And I don't know if anybody else would see it. I also got a folded over piece. I'm sure someone would find it, and I can't sell this at a full price. So if you're looking for a discounted price, I was going to put it on there for um, I don't know what I was going to put it on there for, but well, it would have been around $40. It is going to be on there for 25 because I'm not happy with it. I can't sell it. I'm going to point these flaws out in the pictures that I take and put on Etsy. But other than that, other than my mistakes, my machine falling, it didn't fall to the floor. It hit me in the chest, and I ran out of bobbin thread, and so I'm done sewing for today because you know what happens when you start making those mistakes. If you start another project, it's just one big throw it in the trash mistake. But I am pleased with it. Besides those little errors, it does have an inside pocket. I didn't put a huge one. It's definitely big enough for a cell phone and your keys. But I think it turned out, all in all, the outside cosmetically looks wonderful. It's just I don't know. Let me know what you guys think when your projects don't turn out as good as what you think. I mean, I could keep it for myself. I don't know if I would really carry. I don't have anywhere to go. I mean, I could carry it, but I am going to offer it on Etsy. I'm going to point out my mistakes, like I said, and it'll be at a discounted price. So, so that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. While I'm finishing off wrapping up this video, if you could just like my video, and if you're not a subscriber, if you could please subscribe, that would really help my channel. Drop me a comment. All through the videos that I make, I usually ask a lot of questions, and I love when I get feedback because it does help me, and I know it helps other people who watch the videos as well. But anyways, I hope you like this video. And like I said earlier on, I do have another new project that I'm going to bring you along for. I've never made one before. I'm thinking I might try to make one first before I go through all these steps. And yeah, so I think I will make one first because like I said, I do need one. It's something that I've needed. I do have a store-bought version of what I want to make, but I wanted to make my own personal one. So that's what we'll be getting into next week. So thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. And I will see you all next week.